Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Continuing to see some cloudy conditions out there this morning. We did see a few light rain showers push through the area. Still seeing a few light rain showers around the area with a slight breeze and a temperature just about 60 degrees at this time. Overall, expecting these light rain showers to start to wrap up as we get into the start of the afternoon as a front pushes through the area behind it. We'll see some more seasonable air start to move into the area, and once again we'll see high pressure for tomorrow with fairly quiet weather day, and as we move into Thanksgiving we'll see another system coming through bringing some likely rain showers back to the area. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we see the boundary off to our west. Again, that will be gradually approaching the region and pushing through, likely pushing through by the afternoon time frame. We'll see those winds shifting and some cooler air moving through. Then high pressure behind it will be settling in for tomorrow, keeping things fairly quiet. If we take a look at the upper level winds from this morning, sounding had some west-southwesterly winds through much of the column, slightly westerly as we get through the mid-levels. Overall, seeing our peak wind today of 63 knots at 25,000 feet, and the freezing level is at 10,000 feet today. Looking at the local radar here, we can see those light showers, as mentioned, continuing to kind of slowly move through the area. Again, fairly light and quick moving at this time, and again, expecting those to wrap up as we get into the afternoon. If we take a look at the current visible satellite and the overall picture here, much of the activity missed Wallops to the north, and as you can see, just a little bit left to push through as that boundary starts to push through the region, and then seeing that cloud start to move out of there with the boundary as well. We see some drier air off to the northwest, as well as some slightly breezy conditions. So we're going to see some slightly breezy conditions just ahead and behind that front as it pushes through today. If we take a look at the high resolution model, again, as we move through the daytime hours, we see picking up on that precipitation activity, and then that pushes out as we get into the afternoon. Likely seeing some breaks in the clouds as we get through the afternoon and into the evening as well. And there's slightly breezy conditions tapering off as we go through the overnight with just some high clouds around the area, but it's going to allow temperatures to cool down to fairly seasonable temperatures. And once again, getting into Wednesday, high pressures in control, and we'll see seasonable temperatures for Wednesday as well. Mainly high clouds around, and then as we move through the day ahead of that next system, we'll see some increasing clouds building in as starting with a warm front lifting through the area. We'll see some warmer temperatures tomorrow evening ahead of the area of low pressure as it tracks through, and behind that we'll actually see some seasonable to well below average temperatures for the weekend. If we zoom out here looking at the European model, we see starting off Thursday morning that area of low pressure almost to the local region, and it continues to push through, bringing some likely rain showers through the area, mainly during the daytime hours. And as we get later in the day and into the evening, that area of low pressure pulls away, looks to be fairly quickly through the daytime, and then we'll see things looking to dry out as we get later in the day and into the overnight hours. GFSs linger the boundary just a bit closer to the area, possibly maybe a lingering shower, but that looks to be a less likely scenario at this time. And as we see behind that area of low pressure pushing through an upper level trough digging in over the region, that's going to bring those more seasonable temperatures to start on Friday, maybe some slightly breezy conditions as cold air starts to settle in. And then moving into the weekend, we continue to see that trough digging, and those thickness values dropping. That's going to signify some even cooler air continuing to settle in over the region, moving into the Saturday, Sunday time frame. So likely seeing some of the coolest air we've seen so far this year for the season, and that continues as we move through the weekend. Overall, things looking fairly dry, as mainly high pressure in control for the weekend, and into the start of next week, things continue to look fairly dry and slightly breezy at times. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, seeing red conditions for that precip threat this morning. Again, expecting that to wrap up back to green as we get into the afternoon. We do have a yellow risk for those winds at or above 25 knots as we move through the day. Today, again, mainly along, ahead, and behind, just behind that boundary as it pushes through, seeing those Winds becoming more west to northwesterly, 9 to 14 knots, with peak winds possibly up around 24 knots. So a slight chance we'll see a wind advisory today, but likely staying just below that. We'll see high temperature of 64 degrees ahead of that boundary, and then as we get on the back side of the boundary, we'll see clouds on the decrease, mainly just some high clouds lingering around the area as we go into the evening, and gradually becoming partly cloudy and mostly clear through the overnight time frame. We'll see the breeze start to lighten up a bit as well. That's going to allow temperatures to cool down to around 37 degrees for our Wednesday morning low, and we'll see tides running slightly below normal at this time. Looking at the extended forecast here, nice day for Wednesday. Seasonable temperatures high of 56 degrees. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions as clouds increase ahead of that next system. Thursday, looking at 80% chance of those rain showers pushing through with that area of low pressure, so looking fairly likely at this time. Maybe low end chance we see a thunderstorm embedded in that activity. Most likely will just be some rain showers and breezy conditions. We'll see a mild high of 62 degrees ahead of the cold front associated with that low pressure system. Then behind it, back to seasonable temperatures for Friday, partly to mostly cloudy and some slightly breezy conditions with a high of 52 degrees. And then moving into the weekend, we start to really see those chilly conditions settle in. Seeing our highs not making it out of the 40s for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and our lows down at or below freezing for that time frame as well, with a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies as we move through daytime heating hours, and that will be looking to settle in for those few days there to end the extended forecast here. So some chillier weather coming as we get into the long weekend. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 to 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.